What's up, everyone? How you doing? In this video, I want to talk about a new game that just came out for Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X. It's called Kid Fortress of Peril. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I holding an NES cart in my hand and I'm talking about a new game for the Xbox? This is the original game, Kid, and there's actually two now. There's Kid 2 as well, which is also a great game. But this came out in 2010, so it's crazy. It's been 12 years, and I'll be honest with you, this is one of my favorite homebrew games. And I use the homebrew term lucid. I really hate that term, to be honest with you. I consider these games more like indie games for the classic platforms, right? This game particularly, though, Kid, was a huge influence for the game that we worked on at Collector Vision Games called City Hunter, any of the games. So if you've played any of the City Hunter games, you'll see some influences from Kid. For example, the way the dialogue, where the dialogue talk back and forth, the way the characters interact in the dialogue is taken from Kid. If you played any of the Mega Man games, for example, you're going to love Kid. This is really a true love story to Mega Man. From the music, the gameplay, how challenging this game is. There's two things that are guaranteed in life, right? We have taxes that we need to pay, and the other thing would be dying in this game, because that's definitely going to happen. So I'm going to show you some gameplay, but before I do, there's something I do want to mention, which I'm really excited about, is this company that is releasing this is called 8-Bit Legit. It's a partnership between two great companies, Mega Cat Studios, as well as Retrotainment Games, and these companies have been both making new games for classic consoles for years now. Great partnership, and one thing I'm really excited to announce officially is that we're actually taking our game at Collector Vision Games, which is Dead Tomb, which, if you recall, this came out by Limited Run Games last year. We're going to be porting this over to also the Xbox and Switch and other modern platforms. So you can guarantee you will see Kid on the Switch. You're going to see it from other modern platforms. First, it's going to be on Xbox. It plays really well. It's one of those games that you can just dive right into, and time is going to fly. So I'm going to show you some gameplay. Let me know what you guys think. I'll put a link to 8-Bit Legit's website below with some additional information. Thanks for their support. Thank you for you guys' support. Let's take a closer look. Here it is, Kid Fortress of Peril. This is one of the first homebrew NES games I've ever played and fell in love with it. What's really cool about this version, though, is there's a digital game manual, which is awesome. So the game manual is just like you would have in the physical version. It shows you the different items. There's actually 30 different enemies, 8 different bosses, and get this, 550 different rooms. Each one's super challenging. There's different borders as well. So you have 2 that are kind of themed like old school television. You have 1 Kid themed as well. I think that's a really cool technique. The reason why they have borders is because, for those who may not be aware, the aspect ratio is very different for old school retro consoles like the NES opposed to today, right? So instead of widening it and stretching the image, which I think was a smart move, not doing that, they just add these borders. I think that's a very smart move. Want to keep the authentic look, authentic feel. Right off the bat, you're going to notice some similarities with the art style with Mega Man. This is more anime style, which is cool. I definitely appreciate. And the music, I'll tell you, the music is really good. Very, very catchy music in this game, which is good, because I think for the NES, right, the music can really make or break a game, to be honest. But one thing I really appreciate about Kid Fortress of Peril is also the controls are really, really solid. So I feel like when I die in the game, and believe me, I die, and you will probably die too, it's my fault, right? Or it's your fault if you die. It's not like a cheap control kind of situation. There is a story. You can skip the story. There's an arcade mode as well. So if you don't want to play the arcade, just skip the story. You can do arcade mode. Let's press menu. And there's a password set up. Here is start new game. 5 different difficulties. Basically what that does is gives you more HP. Enemy HP increases, decreases. Death limit unfair. I mean, to play with 1 life. It's insane. I'm sure people have done before. This is definitely a really fun game if you're into like speed running. This is a really fun game to do that, because a lot of it, including the bosses and things like that, are all based just like Mega Man. They're all pattern based. So if you can understand the pattern fairly quickly, you play this game enough, I'm sure it's possible you can get the game fairly quick. But this game, even on like easy mode, you will die a lot, right? Because it's not just the enemies you have to worry about, but it's the jumping and the platforms. Here's kind of a sample of the story itself, kind of give you an idea of what's going on. And see how when they're talking, the one that's talking is kind of colored, the one is black and white that's not talking. We sampled that with City Hunter games, City Hunter: The Curse of Mayan, for example. We sampled that. We definitely took a nod of this game, because this is, like I said before and earlier in this video, this is a huge influence for us to make City Hunter games. And this game is so much fun. I can't recommend it enough, to be honest. And what's really cool, this game is literally like 8-bit legit, as in the name would say, right? So this game literally came out for the NES. So, you know, a lot of games, including City Hunter, right? We'll say 8-bit, and we are kind of 8-bit, but not true 8-bit. This is a true 8-bit game. One thing I definitely appreciate are the checkpoints, and there's plenty of checkpoints, especially early in the game, and every time you hit a checkpoint, it will rejuvenate your health. In most modes, like difficulties, there are basically unlimited lives, which is helpful, because as I mentioned multiple times, you're going to die a lot in this game. Here's one where the wind, you got time to jump right. There's disappearing blocks, just like you would have in Mega Man, and again, it's all trying about finding that pattern of the jumps and jumping right time, because if you jump a split second too late, you will die. You will die. But again, the controls are really solid, fortunately, and you can tell that Sevek did a good job as far as, here's a timing one, for example, these disappearing blocks. Very reminiscent of Mega Man, of course. But you can see they appear in a certain pattern. So let's see if I can get this. Timing. You gotta kind of stay between blocks. See, I died. So it kind of gives you an example of, there's a checkpoint. But fortunately, when you die, you start the previous checkpoint. It's one of those games, though, that when you do die, like I keep finding myself wanting to complete it, right? Because it's not cheap. It's one of those cheap deaths. It's one of those games that you feel like when you do defeat it, it's definitely worth it. It's like Cuphead, right? When I beat Cuphead, it took me 17 hours to beat Cuphead. And when I finally beat the final boss, it was so rewarding because I took the time to do it, and it was super, super challenging. Let's see if I can get this right here. Okay. Oh, dang it. Okay, I'm going to give it another shot here. It's forcing me to start the checkpoint. There are obviously weapons in the game you can use, and there's upgrades. So right now, at this point in the game, I have a super jump where I can jump a little higher, and there's other upgrades as well, three total in the game, which are helpful, which will help make the game slightly easier as the game goes on. But Battle Kid definitely gets more challenging as you progress through the stages. Let's see. I made it. Perfect. There you go. Okay, here's another hard part. You gotta do the jumps. See if I can do it. Nice. Okay. You guys definitely start getting the idea, but it's one of those games, guys. It's super fun. Music makes it. The controls are awesome. It's definitely a game to check out for if you have an Xbox. Keep an eye open later on for Steam, Switch, other platforms. Keep your eyes open also for Dead Tomb, which we're working on or we'll be porting over. Super excited about that. And I think this 8-Bit Legit. It's a great company, great team. I know the guys personally. Just wanted to share some love and share this game to you guys as well, in case you guys didn't know about it. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. And, of course, game on.